Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are opening up a topic that is, I think, critical for anyone looking to kind of level up their life.
Hmm.
We're talking about becoming truly proficient in English, and not in that stuffy, old school way.
Right, not about memorizing flashcards for some exam you have to pass.
Exactly. This is about turning English from a chore, a required subject, into a functional, indispensable life key.
That's it, exactly. We're deep diving into sources that treat English not as something to be afraid of, not something heavy or pasado, but as maybe the single greatest tool for modern accessibility.
Okay, so what's our mission today?
Our analysis is really focusing on the practical stuff.
Mm.
The why, for sure, but more importantly, the how. How do you get over that huge psychological barrier? The fear of actually speaking.
And that's our goal for you, the listener. We want to show you that the journey to fluency isn't defined by being perfect. It's about small, consistent actions.
Yeah, injecting some confidence into the process.
We've basically pulled out 5 concrete phases of attack from all the research. So the
Mhm.
first hurdle we have to clear is, well, it's motivation.
Right.
For so many of us, I mean, I remember this. The first time you learn English, it feels like an administrative task. I
Totally.
remember thinking, I just need to nail the past continuous tense so I don't fail this quarter.
Ah, yes. The goal was just avoidance, not communication.
Exactly.
And that's the classic high school mindset.
Yeah.
The sources we looked at, they challenge that immediately. They basically say, English is no longer a subject you pass.
It's a key.
It's a key. It grants you access. We're talking about unlocking massive opportunities. Work, study, travel.
Friendships.
Friendships, yeah. But at its core, it's about access to information. High-quality information.
That idea of access, that's what really blows your world open, isn't it?
Mhm.
Suddenly you're not just reading, translated news. You start to get the original source.
Just get the jokes.
You get the jokes, the context behind the memes, the actual emotion in song lyrics, quotes from a series that just don't translate well. It's like going from black and white to full color.
And it plugs you directly into the global conversation. Just think about that.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, the sheer number of people you can suddenly talk to. Speaking English connects you with hundreds of millions of people you would otherwise never, ever meet.
So your perspective just shifts from being purely local to...
To global, inherently global.
And let's talk about careers. If you're in any field that requires you to keep learning,
Oh, absolutely. Tech, marketing.
tech, finance, digital marketing, the creative arts, the data in our sources is just, it's stark. The vast majority of the cutting-edge content,
Because courses.
the best courses, the tutorials, the expert conferences, the newest research, it's all published in English first.
This is the critical point, really.
Yeah.
If you only rely on stuff that's been translated, you're getting what the sources call internet, a media's, half the internet.
Half the internet, wow.
You are operating with a freno de mano, a handbrake, on your career.
So if you have to wait 3 months for some crucial update to be translated,
Your competition is already 3 months ahead of you. Simple as that.
it's a question of speed. But it's not just a career hack, right? The material really emphasizes that mixing with other cultures through language. It's a bridge to personal growth.
For sure. It builds tolerance, it shifts your mentality, and it helps you see the world from angles that might, challenge your own comfortable ideas.
Okay, so we've established the why. It's huge. But this is where most people, especially when they're starting out, they just freeze. The miedo, a hablar, the fear of speaking. And this barrier is almost always rooted in vergüenza, in shame.
Oh, that paralysis is so real. It's that little voice in your head, that nagging critic going, what if I mispronounce something simple?
What if they laugh at me?
What if I just forget the word mid-sentence and look like an idiot? We've all been there. I think I've definitely invented verbs trying to order a coffee.
Yeah.
We all have. But that anxiety, while it's natural, it's something you have to actively dismantle.
And how do you do that?
The sources suggest the core problem is usually perfectionism. We expect ourselves to go from zero to, sounding like an educated native speaker overnight.
Which is impossible.
It's impossible. And communication isn't about flawless grammar anyway. It's about connection.
You mentioned an anecdote from the sources where someone was just sweating, so nervous, trying to explain a complex idea.
Yeah.
And the big takeaway wasn't that they spoke perfectly. It was that the listener cared way more about the effort and the idea itself than any small mistakes.
Exactly. When you're trying to communicate, people are listening for your meaning, for your intention. They are so forgiving of errors because they get it. They know how much work you're doing in your head.
We spend all this time worrying about being judged when really most people are just impressed that you're trying.
They really are.
But let me just push back on that for a second. Because our sources have to acknowledge that in, say, a high-stakes professional setting, a job interview, a client pitch,
Sure.
biases against accents or mistakes, they do exist. How do you deal with that reality and still stay confident?
That's a super important point.
Mm-hmm.
And the research isn't naive about it. Clarity definitely matters in those settings.
So what's the strategy?
The strategy is this. Your accent is a huella, a footprint. It's part of your history. The goal is understandability, not neutrality.
Understandability, not neutrality. I like that.
Yeah. Focus your practice on the sounds, the foams, that actually get in the way of people understanding you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't waste your energy trying to erase your accent completely.
So it's a better use of brain power to just expand your vocabulary.
And your fluidity, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't chase an impossible ideal.
So if the main goal is just to be understood, to communicate, then the key takeaway is simple. The way out of fear isn't perfection.
It's practice.
Just practice.
That's it. And practice means you have to embrace failure. A mistake is not a sign that you are failing. It's evidence that you are engaging with the language.
It's like a baby learning to walk.
Exactly. They fall down hundreds of times.
Yeah.
If you're not making mistakes, you're not pushing your own boundaries. And if you're not pushing, you're not learning.
Okay, let's pivot to the payoff. That moment when all that consistent practice finally clicks into place.
Yes.
The sources describe this amazing aha moment. It's the day you realize you've just been consuming English content.
Effortless.
Yeah, effortlessly. A YouTube video, a news article, a whole podcast. And you realize you didn't have to translate anything in your head.
That moment it's transformative. It's like neurological proof that the language has moved from your short-term memory into your subconscious.
And that feeling gives you this, that the sources call it a seguridad brutal, a brutal confidence.
A profound confidence. And it acts as a catalyst for everything else in your life.
Because that confidence doesn't just stay with the language, does it?
Not at all. Suddenly, you're daring to speak up in a meeting where before you would have just stayed silent.
You volunteer to make that international call that used to scare you.
You start sending professional emails you would have avoided. And each one of those small actions opens up opportunities that were literally invisible to you before.
This is where the whole mental gym idea comes in, but with more precision.
Right. Learning a second language, especially as an adult, is one of the toughest workouts you can give your brain. The cognitive benefits are huge because you're constantly engaged in what's called cognitive switching.
And what does that mean for the average person listening right now?
It means you're developing a better executive function. You're forcing your brain to switch super fast between two different language systems, shutting one down while turning the other one on.
Okay.
Research shows this process dramatically improves your ability to multitask. It boosts your attention span and, this is the big one, it develops your memory.
So you're literally putting your brain to lift weights.
You really are.
Yeah.
And it builds stamina for all other complex thinking.
So the skill isn't just communication, it's high-level mental agility. English, then, it really is a puente, a bridge.
A bridge to better jobs, to new travel experiences, to unexpected connections.
Like finding friends in an online gaming community or something.
Exactly. And all of this feeds into your broader self-belief. Mastering English becomes your first door.
What do you mean by first door?
Once you prove to yourself that you can tackle one really complex, intimidating skill, something you thought you couldn't do, that overall feeling of I can't starts to crumble away in all areas of your life.
That confidence is the goal, but consistency is how you get there.
It's the vehicle, yeah.
So for everyone listening who gets the why and is ready to push past the fear, let's get into the how. How do we learn this stuff without it feeling like misery?
Okay, 5 key strategies pulled straight from language acquisition research. Number 1 is non-negotiable. Daily constancy.
Every single day.
You have to make English part of your daily rhythm, like brushing your teeth. The sources are so clear on this. Constancy is better than intensity.
So why is 10 minutes every single day better than, say, a 2-hour class every Saturday?
It's all about your brain. Your brain needs daily exposure for memory consolidation. If you just dump a ton of information once a week, you're mostly using short-term memory. It doesn't stick.
But 10 minutes a day keeps those connections firing?
It keeps the neural pathways active.
Exactly.
Strategy 2.
Learn with passion. This is about making English the vehicle for stuff you already love.
Get rid of the boring textbooks.
Please. If you're obsessed with a sport, Listen to the commentary in English. If you love fashion reviews or history documentaries, switch to the English versions. Start with subtitles, that's fine.
Even if it's celebrity gossip or chism.
Yes, use your genuine interests to fuel the learning.
Strategy 3.
The out loud rule. The language cannot stay in your head. It has to come out of your mouth. Habla. Speak. Out loud.
Even to yourself.
Even to yourself. A really powerful technique for this is called shadowing.
Shadowing. What is that? It means you listen to native audio, a podcast, a character in a show, and you repeat their words at the same time they're saying them.
Oh, wow.
You try to match their rhythm, their intonation, everything.
That sounds intense. But it makes sense. You're training the muscle memory of your mouth, not just your brain.
Precisely. You're training your mouth to make sounds that might not exist in your native language. It builds fluency way faster than just reading silently.
Okay, strategy 4.
A soft version of full immersion. You have to trick your brain into thinking English is just your environment now.
How do you do that?
Change the language settings on your phone, your computer, all your apps. Make an English-only music playlist. Follow social media accounts that only post in English. This passive exposure is huge.
And the last one, number 5.
Patience and self-compassion. Please, do not compare your Chapter 1, your nervous fumbling start, with someone else's polished Chapter 20.
Yeah, that's a killer.
Acknowledge your own rhythm, your own life. Consistency with self-compassion, that's real progress.
That idea of being kind to yourself while still being consistent, that's so important.
It's everything.
So since we know that consistency is the key, let's actually do the mental hack the sources recommend for starting your daily practice.
Yeah, this is all about committing to the action, no matter how small it feels.
We talked about the fear that just paralyzes you. So before you start your 10 minutes of shadowing, or before you switch your phone to English, we want you to actually repeat these sentences out loud.
Verbalize the commitment to yourself.
Ready? Just say this with us, even if you just whisper it.
First, just acknowledge the process. Say, I'm learning English.
I'm learning English.
And that is a positive step.
Okay. Second, acknowledge the rhythm. Every day I get a little better.
No matter how small the action.
Third, and this is to fight the fear. I don't need to be perfect to start.
I don't need to be perfect to start speaking right now.
And fourth, the big one, the commitment. I can speak English.
And I will advance today.
Those small, accumulated acts, that's it. That's the foundation.
That's the only foundation that works. The daily 10 minutes, the shadowing, and just that mental commitment. That's how you build real functional fluency. Hashtag outro atra.
So if we boil down everything from the source material today, the ultimate realization is this. Learning to speak English isn't just an expense of your time or money.
No?
It is one of the single best personal investments you can possibly make.
And that investment pays you back in ways that go so far beyond just a better salary.
Right.
It's the richness of the experiences, the people you meet, the sheer confidence you get when you realize you can navigate the world in a whole other language.
So please don't let that fear of shame or being imperfect keep you frozen. Everyone starts at 0. Every single person sounds a little strange when they first begin. The point isn't to sound perfect. The point is just to advance, one day at a time.
And here's a final thought for you to take with you. If learning English proves that you can put your brain through this really tough cognitive workout and achieve an intimidating goal, what other big life challenge have you been underestimating in yourself just because you lack that initial confidence? Consider what fear, what barrier you're going to choose to break through next.